Good morning. Do I have a microphone today? Hello. I can't see if I've got any sound. Who's nicked my mic? Yes, I do. Awesome. Fabulous. Just checking. It's the first time I've streamed since going on the other channel. I wanted to make sure that all my settings were still set up, but it is. Yay me. Awesome. Hello. Welcome to the stream. My name is Dharma Star, and we're going to be doing a balance of all levels Vinyasa flow this morning, and then we're going to be working into a nice energetic morning flow so that you can start off your self-isolation in style. Get some energy so you can sit on your ass and play video games all day long, which is what I've done all weekend. It's been fabulous. I've loved every second of it. Yay. So hi. Shorts today because I'm a little bit feverish still with this whatever it is I've got, and not because I didn't do any laundry all weekend because I was busy playing Horizon. That's not the reason. No, I would fight anyone that says different. So yeah, gonna get started today working on balance poses, and then, like I said, getting into a nice energetic hatha flow. So meet me all over in tabletop. The only thing I don't like about these things is I have to spend every 2 seconds pulling them back down because I bought them when I was bigger. So we'll start off in tabletop. So you want your hips stacked over your knees, and you want to have your shoulders over the wrists and a nice neutral spine. So you don't want to have an extended back or a curve. We'll save that for cat-cow. So in your inhale, you're going to drop the belly down. You're going to roll the chin forward. You're going to open up through the heart. Fill up with air. And then on an exhale, you're going to press the ground away from you. You're going to round out through the shoulders. You're going to tuck the chin up towards the chest. You're going to tuck the tailbone. You're going to look at your belly button. While we're doing this, and we're doing this slow roll, just to warm everything up. See if there's anywhere that you're starting to feel tension or discomfort, and be aware that that's something you're going to have to work around today. One more. And then exhale. And come back to your neutral spine. So you want to have everything in a nice straight line. You want the head in alignment with the tailbone. And we have the weight distribution even between the hands and the knees. So we're going to tuck the toes. And we're going to give ourselves into a nice little bit of balance. So from here, we're going to start on the right leg. You're going to step back on the right toes. Get yourself nice and firm, so draw the abdominals in towards the spine, and then we're going to lift and we're going to extend out through the heel. Morning, Trippy. And we're tucking the toes this time to start taking it straight into the balance as well. So we're going to make it a little bit more challenging for ourselves. When you feel like you're ready and you're stabilized, you're going to pick up the left arm, and you're going to reach out through the fingertips, and you want a nice straight line from the shoulder up to the middle finger. Keeping the spine neutral, so don't start to sink down in the belly, but stay here. Breath going. I know it's very tempting when you're in balance poses to want to hold on to the breath to keep yourself stabilized, but don't. Bring the hand back down. Bring the right leg back down. Re-establish. So make sure that everything is all straight again. Making sure that I've gone back into my neutral spine. Step back on the left toes this time. And when you feel like you're stabilized, you can bring the heel up, flexing the toes down towards the floor, and then bring the right arm into it as well. Keeping that navel drawing in towards the spine, keeping everything nice and firm here. And again, want to be activating the fingertips down into the mat. Down the right hand, bring down the left leg. And then we're just going to warm the wrists up. So we're going to flip the wrists. So we'll start off on the right hand. So we're going to turn it around so that the fingertips are facing in towards the knee. Back to center. Take the left hand and having it pointing the fingertips back towards your knee. Up it over. So bring the right hand back towards you. So we're stretching out the back of the wrists. Back to center, and then bring the left ones back in. Back to center, keeping the toes tucked this time, but we're going to take it back into child's pose. So we're going to sink everything back, reaching out through the fingertips, stretching out through the side body. So you're going to feel the ribs start to peel away from each other. As long as it's comfortable for you to step on your toes, step on your toes. Otherwise you can feel free to untuck, rest on the tops of your feet, make sure your big toes are touching and that you have a nice gap between your thighs for your belly to collapse into. And then from here, we're going to press ourselves up into downward facing dog. So bring up, take it up. And again, first down dog of the day, you might want to take your dog for a little walk. Just my pants out. There we go. Gonna pedal the heels back towards the ground, and remember the distance that is comfortable for you will vary from person to person. So as a general rule, we tend to start off with it being hip distance, but you may find that you want to have your feet stuck close together, maybe wider than that. It's a personal preference. Spin the elbows up to the ceiling, and then from here we're going to pick the right hand up off of the mat, place it back down, pick the left hand up, and bring it back down. So we're working on balance at the moment. And we'll do the same with the feet. So we're going to be taking the right foot up off of the mat. So we're going to pick the toes up. Step it back down again. Bring the left leg up. And then step it back down again. So we're just trying to see what happens. And we're going to try and take that little twist, that variation of broken table into our down dog. So we're going to start off with the right leg and the left hand. So I'm going to pick that up. Ooh. Kick the sofa. We move forward slightly. Pick it up. And then lower. And then lower. From here, we're going to roll forward into the high plank. We're going to come down onto the knees, bring the big toes to touch, and we're going to press it back into child's pose. Ghost lady. I do feel very ghostly. I'm like hovering between being alive and very, very sick this morning. Oh, and I'm already starting to burn up again. That's fun. Might be a shorter stream today, guys. I'll let you know. So good morning. Hello. Hi. How you doing, English muffin man? I need to move house. I need a bigger fucking room. I totally need a bigger room. Ugh. So we just did a couple of balance poses in downward facing dog where we were shifting the weight from one side to the other. So you might just want to give yourself a little hug across the body right now just to take out any tension that you may have cultivated in your shoulders. It can happen. Oh, sort my bra strap out. Start off with one hand on top and then swap it over, bring the other one on top, just to help Take any tension out. And we're going to step up towards the top of the mat. We're going to work on our balances today. So again, you might want to get yourself some furniture nearby just in case you're a little bit wibbly wobbly. A chair is a fabulous thing as long as it's not one of those fancy dancy gamer chairs, i.e. the ones with wheels. Because if you go, the chair goes. You don't want that. Or if you're near your desk, fabulous. Because that's almost like hip height as well, so that's great. So, from your child's pose, gonna tuck the toes, send the hips skyward, take yourself back into downward facing dog, and then we're gonna look, and we're gonna step up towards the top of the mat. Good, that's what I like to hear. So from here we're gonna come into a forward fold. So we're gonna lift and lengthen. So we're gonna straighten the legs. As we lift and lengthen, create space through the lower back. And then we're going to have a slight bend in the knees as we bring our torso to the chest. And then from here, we're going to lift ourselves all the way up, bringing the hands up, overhead, and down to prayer center. I'm going to swap to the other camera. I'm going to bring our hands onto our hips. Just move the mic out the way slightly. Cool. Okay. So standing at the front of the mat, we're going to bring our hands onto our hips. And we're going to take the weight shifted into the right leg. Let me step back slightly so you can still see me. I have to step all the way back because I'm on two different gradients. We're going to pick up the left leg. We're going to pick the toes up off of the mat. We're just going to stay here. Introduction into coming into tree pose. So you can stay here, or you can start to, if I twist this way, from here, you can start to bring that foot and slide it up into the inner thigh. And if we're here, we're going to open out through the knee. So we're going to be making sure that we open out through the hips. So if you've come into the tree variation, you want to have this knee hinged out to the side. You might feel a little bit of a clunk and a click as your stuff starts to readjust. And then you can bring your hands to prayer center just to help keep you balanced. And focusing on the breath. When you bring the arms up overhead, if you want, you can take your branches of your tree out. Whatever works for you. So here we are, staying firmly in our tree foundation. So you may not have your heel all the way up here, you may have it up just resting on the calf. You can place it anywhere on the foot as long as you don't place it on the side of the knee, because if you fall, you're going to throw your knee out of alignment. You're going to luxate the patella, and that's going to hurt. So from here, spin it back around, step it down, and we would go straight back into warrior one, but I'm not in the right position on the mat now, so we step back here. Try that again with less falling over. So in warrior one, you have your right toes pointing towards the top of the mat. You have your left toes at a 45-degree angle pointing towards the outside of your mat. And we bend deeply through the front leg. We're trying to bring the heel down onto the floor, bringing the arms up overhead, and you end up in a back bend, whether you want to be in one or not. And we're stretching the IT band and the outside of the leg, okay? So from here, we're just going to stay, and we're going to work on stretching the outside of that leg. Bring the hands out to the side. We're going to straighten that front leg, and we're going to bring ourselves down into pyramid pose for just a moment. So pyramid pose, you have both legs straight. You have the hamstring of the right leg pointing towards the back of the room. You want to make sure that your sacrum's flat, so you're not rolling over onto one hip. Everything's nice and flat right now. Bring the hands down to either side of that front foot. From here, going to take it back into your low lunge for just a second. And then step that right leg back so that you're coming into your high plank. Lower through Chaturanga Dandasana. all the way down onto your belly. And then we're going to take it into a back bend. So again, all levels vinyasa, so you may find that this is a little bit too intense for you. So I'll show you variations first. We twizzle, groovy. Okay, so coming through your vinyasa, which is the flow that you do in between each transitional pose, is you want to be able to bring yourself flat onto your belly, the tops of your feet pressing into the top of the mat. And you want to lift the kneecaps up and press the hips back down into the mat. Hands underneath the shoulders. Elbows hugging in towards your center line. So you're like a salmon swimming upriver. We don't want to be out like this. Okay, we want to keep it here. We're going to press in and we're going to roll up and we're going to lift the chest up off the floor. So we have the belly button, the lower ribs, the pelvis in contact. Everything else is pressing up and off of the mat. You can bring the hands up and use your back muscles to help keep you there. Lower yourself down. And if you're brand new to yoga, that's the variation I want you to do when we come through today's vinyasa flow. If you've been practicing for a little while and you want to kick it up a notch, then you're going to bring your hands down to parallel your shins, and you're going to have the thumbs putting down so that the hands are facing in towards your thighs. And we'll do the same thing, but we're not going to be using the hands pressing into the mat to lift us up, so it's going to be all working the back. So again, press in, lift, and take your hands reaching down towards your ankles. And that's the next variation that you can do. That's kicking it up a notch. That's increasing the challenge. You can lower yourself back down. And the full pose that we're working towards is the shoulder opener. So you interlace the hands behind the back. Lying on my front was not a good idea. We're going to be interlacing the palms together. So you want to press the palms together, and we're going to be reaching up and down, taking the bind towards the ankles as we lift the feet up this time. So rather than pressing the tops of the feet into the mat, we're going to be lifting them up here and putting everything together. Oh, bear with me. Create some space in my lungs. Okay, so here, reach, lift. And we want to make sure that you're not rolling over into one shoulder over the other either. You want to make sure that the shoulders are nice and level. So I encourage you to find a reflection so you can check yourself before you wreck yourself. Lower everything back down. Allow the shoulders to collapse down. Undo the bind, pressing the palms into the mat, tuck the toes, and we're going to take ourselves up into downward facing dog. So from here, press in, lift, hips skyward, walk slightly further forward so I'm away from the sofa. There we go. And bring myself back into downward facing dog. So again, in downward facing dog, we've got the hips lifted as high skyward as we can. We sink the weight back into the heels. We have the torso reaching towards the thighs. And then from here, we're going to walk or hop or jump forward. I'm going to take toddler steps today. Walk to the top of the mat. Bring it into my forward fold. Lift and lengthen. And then bring the hands up overhead, out to the side. Press the palms together. Hands down to press center. And we'll swap over to the other side. So, thank you. I hope I feel better soon, Noah, as well. We swap cameras. And we'll do the same on the other. So, I'm going to get firm in the left leg this time. So, bring the hands onto the hips. And pick the knee up off the mat first. It's always a good place to start here just to see what your balance is like on each day, because it's going to vary from day to day. You feel like you're ready? Bring the hand on top of the ankle, suck it in, take it out to the side, and then ta-da, here we are. Now hands on the hips, hands to prayer center, or spread your branches. Find a point to focus your drishti, a place for your gaze. Okay, can't clear my throat today. Fair enough. Bring the hands to prayer center if they're not already there. I'm gonna spin that knee forward, and then we would step back into warrior one, but obviously I need to change directions. Warrior one, bend deeply through that front leg, step back as far as you need to, and we're gonna make sure that both feet are facing forward. Bring the arms up overhead, and we're working the IT band on the right leg this time. Staying here, focusing, reaching up towards the ceiling. Bring the hands out to the side as we straighten that front leg. Bring yourself down into your pyramid pose. So again, the front leg, the hamstrings reaching towards the back of the wall behind you. Bend deeply through that front leg, and then we'll take it into a low lunge for just a second. Step back into your high plank, and then you can lower yourself down through your chaturanga dandasana, and we'll take it up into locust pose. So again, if you did locust on the other side, come back into it again. If you did either of the other variations, we'll just do it one more time. Lift, gain as much height and length as you can. And then lower. And we're gonna come into crocodile pose. We're gonna make a little pillow for our heads, or I dream of genie arms. And let everything sink back down into the earth. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders, tuck the toes, and we'll take it back up into downward facing dog. Press it in, send it skyward. And then from here, look to where you want to go. Step forward, come into your forward fold. Lift and lengthen. And then bend the knees, bringing the arms up overhead to bring ourselves out to the side. And we'll work on another balance pose. Just get a drink for a second. Thank you for the follow, Namra. Enjoy your stay. So we're going to come into dancer pose, or a beginner variation of dancer pose. So I'm going to stay facing away from you for now, and we'll start on the right leg. So hands onto the hips, feet are hip distance apart. We're going to bring the knee up on the left leg. We're going to grab a hold of the top of the ankle, and then we're going to drop that knee down. We're going to be pressing the hips forward. So you've got a nice straight line here. You should be having full motion through your shoulder. If you're feeling any tightness through the shoulder, then you're going to want to come out of this pose altogether. And we're going to reach the right hand up overhead. This is a great way to come into the start of dancer pose. So it's a quad stretch. You are creating space through the chest, and you're creating room for the lungs to breathe. And you can be lifting up and out through the shoulders. a nice little way to bring yourself into this. And then with time, you can start to bring that knee up as you hinge yourself forward. Kicking the heel away from you. As you come up, keep the straight back arm. Step that foot down as you float down that other leg. Pedal out through the heels. You may find that that was a pretty intense on the calf muscle on the right leg, and that's okay. Balance poses are fantastic because not only do they strengthen the ankles and the Achilles, but they also strengthen the calf muscle as well. So you're working on building a lot of power in the lower leg, which is groovy. And if you're somebody that runs or jogs, you'll thank me later. Bring the hands to prayer center. Come back to the breath if you've lost it. Which is groovy. And then we'll take it to the other side. So getting firm in that left leg, we're going to pick up the right knee. I'm going to grab a hold of the top of the foot. And we're going to bring the arm up overhead as we're pressing the hips forward, opening out here. And when you feel like you're ready, you can start to bring that heel up and away from you. And when you find the depth of the pose, kick that heel up and away from you. We're just coming into introduction into dance pose. And that wiggling that you're feeling in your ankle, that's you building strength right now. Come up slowly with control. Step it down, bring the arm down. Back into prayer center to center yourself. So balance poses, we put a lot of pressure on ourselves. A lot of the time we're like, oh, if I fall out of the pose, I'm a failure. And you're standing on a celestial object that's going over 1,000 miles an hour. You're gonna have off days, don't worry about it, it's groovy. Let yourself go, don't beat yourself up so much. If it happened and you fell out, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna step forward to the top of the mat if you're not already there. And we're gonna just come into a nice forward fold right now that's gonna help us to sort out it through the hips and the shoulders. So, feet hip distance apart as you would come through Utkatasana. We're gonna bring the arms up overhead. We're gonna sink down in the hips. We're gonna hinge into a flat back, straighten the legs. We're gonna grab a hold of the elbows. And then we're gonna just stay here, slight bend in the knees. Opening up through the hips, stretching the glutes. Allowing the head to lie heavy. Allowing gravity to traction the spine down towards the earth. Drop the fingertips down onto the floor. Lift and lengthen. And then we're going to bend at the knees. We're going to step back into our high plank. And we're going to lower through Chaturanga Dandasana. Lower slowly down with control. Stop cameras. And we're going to work on bringing ourselves up into bow pose. So bow pose is another big back bend. So I'm going to show you modifications to bring yourself up there. I'm just going to cough. And allow you to play around with your practice, so you can step it up through different gradients to bring yourself into the full expression of the pose. So make sure excuse me, make sure that you have the hips both pressing down into the mat. So you're not rolling onto one side or anything, everything's nice and even. And we're going to start off with working, we'll do one on each side and then we'll bring it up together. So the broken table, the variations that we've been working on since the beginning of class, we're going to do the same thing right now. So bring yourself down into, rest onto your chin. Bring the arms down to your side, and again the variations that you will do on this one is you'll have the thumbs resting on the mat and reaching down towards the floor. So we'll start off with one leg, so we'll start with the right leg as we always do. You're going to bring that right leg up, you're going to grab a hold of the top of the foot, and then you're going to bring the left arm up as you reach it down towards the floor, coming into half a bow pose. So we're picking the knee up and we're pressing the hip down on the right leg when we do this. You can float that back down. And again, we never slingshot the foot down, we float it down. We move slowly and with control. If you do that snap movement, if you go like this, you run the risk of taking impact trauma into the kneecap. So float it down, yeah? You are as light as a feather on the wind. And then we'll do the same on the other side. So again, we're going to be pressing the left hip down. We're going to be picking up the left knee. So we're going to be pressing the hip and the thigh down, picking up the knee and reaching back and grabbing a hold of the top of the ankle. Rest on the thumb so we can lift up and point down towards the foot on this side. So we're going to bend it up first, grab a hold of the top of the foot. We're going to lift and we're going to take those fingertips, send them down towards the floor, press that hip back into the mat. Lift everything away. See how this feels. See if one side is a lot tighter than the other. Lower everything back down. And now's the time for you to make a judgment call. So if you feel like you're ready to do both legs and both arms, do it. If it's too much, if that was enough of a stretch for you right now, bring yourself back up into your baby cobra. It's still a back bend, but it's a very isolated one, working in the middle of the back rather than working all of the back, which we're about to do. Okay, I've coughed up a lung. We're good to go. So we're gonna do the double variation. Let's do it now. Let's be brave. We can do this. Hands at the side, tops of the feet, pressing in, lifting up. Reach, press, flow. Everything's groovy. Keeping the breath going. And then let's lower the chest down, heels coming down into the glutes as you float the feet down. Bringing the hands underneath the shoulders. Ah, oh, Ozzy, hiya. 11 months, damn, almost a year. Fuck me, you lunatic. Thanks for stopping by as well, appreciate it. Bring yourselves into a crocodile pose for now, just so that we can take any tension out of the lower back. And again, if you want, you can lift up the hips and slingshot it from side to side. Yeah, it's going to be a short stream today. I've already said that. No, I don't know what the fuck I've got. My lungs are burning. Lower everything back down again. We're going to take stuff slow. We're going to take it into a nice... I was going to do an energetic vinyasa next. I think I might just take it into some stretches. I'm going to take it into recline. So I'm gonna, you can roll over from here, but obviously I need to change direction, so I'm gonna bring it up and over. walk it down. No, I won't. Oh, damn. Did I get heavenly again while I wasn't looking? It's why we're in shorts today. I'm rocking major temperatures. It's fun. I'm trying to sweat whatever this is out of me though. So I'm gonna bring ourselves down onto our backs. And it's not because I spent playing Horizon Zero Dawn all weekend and I forgot to do laundry. That's not the reason that I'm not wearing yoga pants. I swear on my broken lungs. Alright, we're going to take it into a bridge pose for now. Again, if you are brand spanking new to yoga, then you might find this is a little bit intense. It's another back bend, but it's a reclined back bend. So if you have something that you can place underneath the back to help hold you up there, groovy. If you don't worry about it. So you want to make sure that the knees are hip distance apart, and you want to step the heels in like as close to the glutes as you can. You should be able to stroke the back of your heels with your fingertips, with your arms just relaxed at your side. Okay. From here, you're going to make sure you can see the outside pinky toe edges of your feet. And then you're not going to knock your knees in together. You're going to keep them hip distance apart. And this is where getting like a towel or a blanket, rolling it up and placing it between the thighs starts to help. Because when we come into bridge pose, a lot of the time people want to squeeze their glutes to bring themselves up there. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to send the hips skyward by pressing the knees away from us. So you're going to be pressing out that way, and that's how you gain height. You don't want to squeeze everything together and send a line to gain height. It doesn't give you the stretch that you want. That's all I'm going to say. So bring the hands down to rest at your side. And we're going to press the palms down into the mat, and we're going to roll up. We're going to send the hips skyward. So again, press the knees away from you as we lift up here. So I'm pressing out through the knees so that I can gain height in the hips, and my glutes are still soft. So I don't want you squeezing everything together here. I want you to keep the glutes soft, and I want you to just lift the hips as skyward as you can. So get them up, gain height, back bend. You're welcome. You can press the palms down into the mat to help stabilize you as you stay here. Or we can take it into locust arms again. So you can interlace underneath your booty. You can press the elbows up towards the ceiling, roll up onto the shoulders during the shoulder heads. You gain a lot more height. And instead of it being a back bend for the middle and lower back, you take the stretch all the way up into your upper back as well. So it's a full back bend. It's a nice one because gravity's fighting you. So it's a really good stretch. And from here, if you've made the bind, you're gonna allow your shoulder heads to come off of the mat. We're gonna lower down one vertebrae at a time, starting at the neck. We're gonna go upper back, middle back, lower back, down onto the mat. And as a counter pose, we're just gonna pick the heels up, start to draw the knees in towards the chest. And you don't want to bring the knees all the way up. You want to bring them up enough so that the lower back is completely flat onto the mat. When you get there, you can make little circles with your knees. The point of the circles is to press all 4 compass points of your back down into the mat. So you're going from the hip, lower back, hip. Yeah, groovy. Reverse, take it in the opposite direction. And be aware of how your back feels right now. Check in with yourself. See how things are going. As you're doing your little circular movements, is there any point where you're like, oh, that's starting to tug? If it is, you can just pause there for a second. And I stretch the feet out in front of me. Ooh, I did forget to do laundry, yeah, totally. I haven't done anything all weekend. I haven't moved. I am on level 21 of Horizon, bearing in mind I started it Friday. Didn't get to play it Saturday because I watched Sam stream for 5 hours. And then Sunday I played it all day. So level 21 in 2 days of gameplay. I haven't moved out of the studio. And I've been quarantined, so I thought I'd just go sit in there and play games. So I did. I don't look a gift horse in the mouth. I'm like, you know what? Tell me to go play video games is exactly what I'm gonna do. So I'm going back through Horizon just because I love the game and it's coming out on PC in the summer and we will be streaming it. And I only have a console in there, so I'm stuck with what I can play. Probably. Thank you for the advice, people. Not anymore, you don't. I like it. I just love your humor. Did I not put the auto thing back on? Yeah, whatever. Alright, so we're going to take it into working on some hip openers while we're here. Bringing it into reclined pigeon. So, step up the right leg, left leg, bringing it in. Going to bring the right ankle over the left knee. I need to buy smaller shorts. I'm going to press the knee away from you, open it out through the hip. So again, this is an all levels vinyasa flow, so you can stay here if you want, and you want to make sure that the hips stay level, so you want this stretch to be happening on the outside of the hip. So if you're pressing that knee away from you, like, yeah, I can feel that, then this is your limit. You stay here. The rest of us, we're going to pick up the toes on the other foot. We're going to bring the interlace our hands behind the thigh. We're going to pull that knee in towards us on the left side as we press the right knee away from us, so we can keep that isolation in the outside of the right hip. And you're going to have to play around with whatever depth works before you get that activation. So somebody who's been practicing yoga for a while, it's like here for me now. But that's compressing my lungs, so I'm going to stay here. I've had this cough now for 4 days and it's getting worse, but we can't do anything. I can't have a doctor's appointment because I have a cough. They've told me to stay away. Our government says self-isolate for 7 to 10 days. So I was like, cool, groovy. So I don't have to go to work for a week. Fab. Gonna step it back down, and then you're gonna actually take this. I'm gonna need to play around with the lighting in a minute. You're gonna take the sole of this foot and you're gonna step it over to the side. So you're gonna keep that isolation in the outside of that hip. Bring your hands out to a T, palms facing down, open out through the hips. It's an odd bind, but it's a good stretch. And then before I swap to the other side, I will sort out the fact that I've gone ghostly again. I need to get blackout blinds, but more importantly, I'm going to be off work for the next 7 to 10 days. I need to make sure I've got next month's rent, so we'll save the blackout blinds for when I'm, you know, still have a home. Yeah. Fabulous. Alright, roll it back up. You can just hang out here for a sec. I'm just going to sort out the fact that I've crossed over to the other side. Sunshine, lollipops, and me. We're together. Is that groovy? Yeah, seems it. Fab. And the other one. It's the sunlight, man. The UK. If it can fuck me over in any way, shape, or form, it does. I barely got any gain up on that. Now I have no gain up on it. Whatevs. Right, we'll swap up. I know it's super dark, but it'll sort itself out. Take it back down, and we'll do the same on the other side. Ugh. So I'm going to cross over the left ankle on top of the right knee. I'm gonna press the left knee away from you. Staying here or making the variation what works for you. I'm gonna interlace behind my thigh. I'm gonna pull that in, press that away. If this isn't giving you anything, you can also interlace on the shin, but that's too much of a stretch for me. For me to reach my shin, I have to then bring my shoulders up off the mat, and it's defeating the object of being in the pose. It's meant to be working your hips. If you start getting other parts of your anatomy involved, you're missing the point. So now the sun goes away. Fabulous. Fine. Groovy. The good news is, Tumpy, I finally have Rise of Skywalker to watch. Yay! So I will be tweeting out about that. You can listen to my vitriol, well, read my vitriol afterwards. Because I hated The Last Jedi with a fiery passion. Step it down. My issue, more than anything else, is it's predictable. We've already had this storyline. It feels like a remake rather than a new set of stuff, and that's kind of unforgivable. I'd have preferred if they'd have crapped all over it like they did with Picard. Whereas Picard's a continuation, so it's not a reboot. Despite every writer saying it is, it's not, it's a continuation. And they've screwed up the timeline again. And I'm kind of getting sick of girl power in that entire series. Every person who's of any note is just female. The men are useless and the women rock. Every woman, no matter what she is, they're all ball busters. Oh, it was crap. Oh, it was utter. It was that weird, giant, fucking Skeletor-looking dude who just died unceremoniously at the end. They're like, yeah, well, he's dead. I didn't even know who he was. There was the person they were taking orders from. We don't know how they met, why they were taking orders from, and then he died. I was like, well, that's great. Sweet. I knew we need a big bad, but we didn't even get to know this one. Bizarre. Okay, bring yourselves. Oh, hang on. Ugh, back up. There we go. Fabulous. Right, we're going to take it into some seated stretches. Because I need to get off my back. So grab a hold, rock and roll yourself up. Ugh. Normally I'd do that a few times, but now we're too dark again. It's great. Fabulous. Which is more offensive, being too dark or being too bright? I'm curious. I think being too dark. Yeah. Too dark is easier to see, is it? Okay, cool. I can't be asked to keep getting up and playing with the settings. I just don't care. Alright, I was like, ooh, what the hell's going on? I just got an invite to a team. And I was like, alright, yeah, I know that. How good is that? One of my team, WAD, exclamation W-A-D. I set up a gaming channel, and they've put my gaming channel on the team already. That's so good, man. Right, there we go, groovy. So we're gonna take it into staff pose. So I want to bring the legs out straight in front of you. Oh my God, I nearly pulled my pants down then. Oh. Grippy yoga mat and silky shorts together. I nearly pantsed myself. Has anyone ever done that in the history of the world? Pants themselves. Okay, so staff pose. We're gonna have the feet out in front of us, legs straight, a slight bend in the knees if you've got really tight hammies. I won't hate you for it. And making sure that you scooch extra butt flesh out the way. Exactly. Oh, it's good times. It is really good times. I don't think it's anything serious. I think I've got a cough at the worst time of the year to get a cough, but the whole world's panicking about a big viral infection. But we'll see what happens. So yeah, if you've got any extra butt flesh, scooch it out the way. You want to have your sit bones in contact with the ground. That is the bottom of your pelvis. There's two little bony bones, yeah. Want to have them in contact with the ground. And we're just going to work on doing some stretches. So again, we always start with the right leg. So bend that left leg in towards you. And you want the heel in alignment with the sit bone. And the easy way to cheat that is to make a fist. And then, no, make a fist, place it between the heel and the thigh. And as a general distance, that tends to be okay. So we're going to sit up nice and tall for just a second. And then we're going to take it into seated tree pose. So we're going to drop this knee out to the side. And again, depending on your knee flexibility and your knee health in general, if this is too much for you, dropping it down onto the floor and opening out through the hip, then the variation I want you to do is I want you to step that foot out to a 45-degree angle so that you have enough room to bring your torso in front of the leg. So you can keep the bend in the knee, you can keep the foot flat on the floor, and then you can bring yourself into your forward fold from here. You're going to be impacted a lot in the forward fold, but you are going to protect that knee. So it's thinking length. You want to be bringing the crown of your head down towards your toes, so you can just start to bring yourself down like this. That's it. You're going to be very impacted because you're stuck here with the hip, but it'll still give you the stretch in the hamstring. Looking after that knee, everyone's a winner. If you don't need that, you're going to step the sole of the foot to touch the thigh and allow that knee to open out to the side. Making sure the hips still stay level. So a lot of the time with this, you may find it yourself by making that connection there that you start to bring this knee away and out of alignment. Keep it all hips level here. Flex the toes up towards you. And then again, you can place something under the back of the knee if it's a little bit intense. We're going to walk ourselves down, sliding down and finding the depth of the pose that works for you. And then hang out and breathe. Oh my God! You gifted us up to Big Scam! I thought your name was Big Scam to begin with, and I was like, this is the person that's hoarding all the toilet paper, but it's not, it's Scam. Oh, that's so cute. English only, please. Because if we have to translate what you say, it's no. 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 I know chupa is something to do with feet. I mean, I flunked Spanish hard. My family's not happy about my lack of Spanish skills, but fuck 'em. You wanted me to keep with the fucking Spanish, you should have left me in Spain. Although no, there's better internet in the UK. And biscuits. Spaniards don't do biscuits. They do chocolate, they don't do biscuits. I don't think I'd die without biscuits in my life. 83, although with this cough, we're about 103 now. I think we can safely say that I've reached the century mark. Yeah? Was it centurion? Yeah, I'm there. Okay. Oh, scandal, right. For some reason, I misread it as scam. I was like, it's just it's the toilet paper thief, man. Those people losing their shit over toilet paper. Baby wipes are still fucking a dime a dozen. I just bought like a 16 pack of those. I'm like, fine, take the toilet paper. My butt cheeks will glisten instead. Yes, I know you can't flush them. It's fine. I have a trash chute. Doesn't matter. I don't have to deal with it. Yeah. Anyway, I am the queen. The saddest thing ever, in it. You live to see a century out and you get a letter from the queen. She doesn't even invite you to fucking Buckingham Palace. She just goes, well done, I'm not dying. Cheeky. That's what it is. It's cheeky. Alright, you can press yourself back up. We're going to take it into a little twist right now. This is either going to be great for me or I'm going to die, so bear with. So I'm going to bring the knee up. We're gonna step it over, and you want to make sure all four corners of the foot are still pressing into the mat. I'm gonna scooch over slightly so you can see what I mean. So the tendency in this pose is to sort of roll over into the outside of the ankle. Don't do that, it's a dick move. You're gonna hurt your knee. Press all four corners of the foot down. Big toe, pinky toe, both sides of the heel, staying here. And we're gonna take it into a twist. So we're gonna be bringing the right arm up overhead, and we're gonna try and make a connection between the elbow and the knee, all right? We're gonna spin the left arm back behind us, and we still wanna create as much height through the upper body as we do so that the twist is happening in the middle to upper back. I know that was a lot of information, just watch. So we're gonna bring the arm up overhead. We're gonna make the connection elbow to knee, spinning this arm back behind us. If you're a hatha student, you wanna lock out the back arm, and we're gonna twist it out here. Yeah, I can't breathe properly in these poses today. Release. We're going to do a little counter pose. We're going to do a 50% pose. We're going to hug the knee in on our left side. We're just going to unwind the back a little. Look, I'm a centurion. I'm not a girl anymore. I am a fossil. I'm a crypt keeper. Zombie, almost. Patient zero. No, I don't know. Yeah, it's just because you'd be surprised. Well, you've already seen, you've been here for a little while, and you've seen the level of maturity of some of the viewers. So we have it set to the highest. But if you drop a follow on the gaming channel, which is linked on my panels below, you can cuss to your heart's content, as I did yesterday, to my no viewers. To be fair, the afternoon yesterday on Twitch died a death. Like, every person that I looked at on my follow list had like 3 or 4 followers, and then I realized why. So we're F1 fans, obviously, which is the Australian Grand Prix this weekend, but it wasn't because COVID. So the drivers, Lando Norris, the rich dude from Canada, I want to say Canada, Canadian driver, has a Twitch channel, and he was playing F1 online with some other dude whose name currently escapes me, and Jimmy Broadbent, and he had 115,000 viewers at one point. And I was like, that's where everyone's gone on Twitch. They're all there because there was no F1 on, so everyone was watching him. They were all racing F1 online. There was like on YouTube, on Twitch, and someone else on another platform, on Mixer. It was insane. I loved every second of it. So that's where everyone was yesterday, in case anyone was wondering. What happens when you get an F1 driver on Twitch? It's gonna happen. Alright, we're gonna swap it over, bring it into the left leg. So we'll start off again, stepping that right foot in, making sure that the knee, the heel is in alignment with the sit bone. Make your fist, check it. And we'll sit up nice and tall for a second. Just check in with yourself. When we're coming into these, you know, I can't even think of the word. Whatever, just check in with yourself. Oh, it was fucking nuts. I was like, what? I mean, if you put Lewis Hamilton on there, you would break Twitch. Yeah, that would be the end of it. He plays on F1, he doesn't stream. See, Lando he has a face cam and everything. And his chat was like, boop, 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 boop. It was emote only chat at one point. It's like, I can't talk to you people, it's just emote only chat. And I was like, oh my god. It's insane, honestly, check it out. So they've cancelled the first 3, the Bahrain and Vietnam's been cancelled as well. Oh, what am I doing? Going into the forward fold first. So take it out into your tree pose. You're going to drop that knee down. Again, making sure the hips are level, so you might want to just have a little twizzle with yourself, make sure everything stays where it should. Now this is my tighter hip, so this knee suspended in mid-space. So there's times when I like to be able to prop it because I can feel it tugging on my hip. But, you know, play around, see what works. To be fair, it would be quite fun if you have a game associated with it. Like, obviously you can play F1 2019, you can buy it. It's crap, by the way, in case anyone's thinking of buying it. It's not changed since 2012. They just update the livery. But if you have a game associated with it, especially F1 drivers, you spend all your time practicing in simulators. Fuck me, why wouldn't you do it? Why wouldn't you? You don't even need to monetize it if you don't want. Yeah, you could be like, no, I don't want to have any of this stuff, and you could just hang out with the fans, especially on a weekend when you're not doing what you're paid millions of fucking pounds to do. So we're gonna lower ourselves down. Oh, I've got a new mole. Huh. Hi, mole. Finding the stretch that works for you, find the depth of the pose that works for you, keep breathing if you can. Yeah, I don't know sports. Golf, yeah? Yeah, he went live. There was 115k people. They have. I've watched, what was I watching? Retro Replay speed runs about a month ago, and they had like 116,000 at one point. Because it's on the front page. I don't spend a lot of time on the front page, but I do scroll through to see what's on. That was for charity. They had over 116,000, which is insane. Oh, chess. Yeah, I've watched chess. You've got celebs playing freaking D&D on channels. Why not? There's all sorts of stuff to be had. It'd be fun. People aren't doing it right, honestly. If I had some celebrity status, it'd be nothing but fun and games 24/7. And I'd be like, I get to interact with the fans, and I don't have to meet them in person with their germs and get, you know, like conflu and stuff like that. Bonus for everyone. Because conflu was a thing before COVID. Alright, I'm gonna roll yourself up one vertebrae at a time. We'll take it into the twist. I don't like golf. The only golf I like is crazy golf. And I say like, and it pisses me off because I get stuck, but the concept agrees with me. And I only do that at seaside places. So I have to be on vacation for that to be even remotely entertained. And then you'll see me about 4 or 5 holes in, throwing my golf club at someone because I've got stuck. You know, the normal rage that comes with sucking at a sport. But it's fun. The first few attempts is fun. We'll take it into the twist. So again, we're going to bring the right arm back behind us, left arm up overhead, twist, take it out. I wondered how long it would be before you did that. I don't know, it's just not... I'm not a sports fan, it's in my rules. Sports doesn't really do it for me. I like F1 to watch live, as in while I'm there. Watching it on television bores the crap out of me. Goes on for too long. But watching him, you know, doing their stuff and being there and the sound and everything else is a fantastic experience. I highly recommend trying it. There's cheap places you can go to around the world. Don't come to the UK, it's not a cheap one. But there are cheap ones. If you're going to do anyone, if you are an F1 fan, do Belgium. Spa-Francorchamps is just the best. Okay, we'll step it out and we're going to take it into cobbler's pose, Supta Baddha Konasana. So we're going to bring the soles of the feet in towards you and we're going to press the knees out down to the side. And again, you're going to find how tight your hips are when you come into this variation. So I'm going to grab a hold of the ankles and I'm going to press the knees down. Oh, hello, treacle. Now, I can't make up my mind if my joints are aching because I've taken 2 days off from doing yoga, or my joints are aching because I'm sick. We'll figure it out. If I can't move tomorrow, it's because I'm sick. I don't like sports. Playing games of sports I don't like. I don't like Rocket League. And that's not even a real thing. It's frustrating. I don't like team stuff. I don't play well with others. Come on. They did one in Manchester. Oh, they came up here. I met Jensen Button and who was his teammate at the time? I can't fucking remember. Somebody unimportant. And they did it up and down Deansgate, and then he was staying at the Hilton Hotel, and a client of mine lives in the Hilton Hotel. I'm a personal trainer. Client of mine. A bad client of mine. Lousy for paying his fines on time. So I ended up having to go there and go, you need to pay me what I'm owed. And I met him in Cloud9, the bar, Jensen. Back when he was going through that weird phase of trying to grow that really patchy beard on his face and it like bumped off, and I was like, dude, you just can't. If you can't grow a full beard, don't bother. Alright, gonna hinge yourself forward. But honestly, being near the sound of F1 is like listening to a jet engine, honestly. I mean, it's the same principle. What keeps planes in the air is what keeps them on the ground. But it was so freaking loud, and the smell of burning rubber and the heat of it all. And it's just, I was just like, phew, made my lady parts beep. I was like, yeah, I like this. If I was going to be a wag, it would be to an F1 driver. Get to travel around the world, get to get all turned on with the smell of burning rubber, get to shop while he's busy doing all his press conferences. Yeah, I'd be a wag of an F1 driver. Most definitely. All right, gonna roll everything down a little bit further. Oh, this is insane. Yeah, I'm not gonna stay here for too long. Going. Can't say your name. Thank you for the resub. Thank you for the resub. I'll let Tompi take care of it. I'm dying. I'm a-dying. Good morning. Are your kids off? Have they closed all the skulls? Does it not work? Yeah, it does. See? Shut your damn face. Yay! It's temperamental at the best of times. Don't forget, I have 2 chatbots running right now, so it's like, where do you want me to go, man? Where do you want me to go? And I'm like, I don't know, somewhere. Deal with it. I said thank you for the resub. I was coughing up a lung at the time. I'm sorry. I will send you a bag of phlegm as an apology. Does that make it better? I'll scrape my lungs and send you what comes out of it. You know I love your face. Your big squirrely face. Alright, we're gonna do one more side twist, bend thing or whatever. And then we'll take it from here. You don't want it? You don't want my bag of phlegm? Fine. There'll be people on OnlyFans that want my bag of phlegm, I guarantee it. There's some sick, strange people in the world. Okay, so we're gonna take it into a side half inverted split so we can work on stretching out through the side body, create some space in the ribs. See if I don't die doing it. So I'm gonna flex the toes back towards us. I wanna make sure that we have the back of the knee not as close to being pressed down into the mat as possible. And we're going to start off with bringing the elbow up onto the hip crease. Okay, so right where the top of the hip is, you want to bring it up here. And then I want you to get used to physically grabbing a hold of your right ribs. And I want you to spin them so that the ribs are in alignment with the foot. Yeah, so everything on this straight line here. So we're spinning out. Got this leg here just to help stabilize us. So we're gonna reach, we're gonna spin, we're gonna bring that arm up overhead, and we're gonna take it out to the side. You can stay here if you're really, really tight in the hips and the shoulders. Otherwise, slide that hand down and start to reach down towards your foot. Don't roll up off this hip to do so, so don't start doing this. Keep that hip glued down. Find the depth of the pose that works for you, keeping the chest spinning up towards the ceiling, and staying here with the breath. And eating your own hair. That's an added bonus. Trying to create as much space in my lungs as I can, it's not working. As you start to warm up, you may find that you can reach down and grab a hold of the foot. Take it into a full spin. It's up to you. Play around with what works for you today. See what's accessible. If it's not accessible, don't worry about it. Bring ourselves up. So we're going to lead with that hand that's up overhead, and then we're just going to do a counter pose. So we're going to bring ourselves down, chest towards the floor, in the middle, keeping the right hip glued down this time. Find the depth that works for you, just to help reset. Slide the hands back towards you. You always bring your head up last in case you've gone a little bit lightheaded, which at the moment I have. Yay. And then we'll swap over to the other side. I probably would feel better. Definitely. Ugh. Bring it in. Step it out. No, that's worse. Selling your phlegm is worse than your bathwater. Your bathwater is something that you've bathed in. Selling something that's come out of your insides is just nasty. Oh, okay. That's just because I heard that Island were thinking of closing all the schools down as of today. I think it's stupid. You know. The reason I think it's stupid is that parents still have to work. So if you take the kids out, who's going to look after the kids? Okay, grandparents might be able to look after the kids, but grandparents and children are both at-risk groups. So it just doesn't seem to make sense to me. But there you go. It's not suspicious. It's just here. And you can't catch it through a screen, you'll be fine. Don't make me lick you. So I'm going to do the same on the other side. So we're going to be flexing the toes back towards us. We're going to be bringing the elbow up onto the hip crease. Oh, hello. Just stabbed myself in the hip. Grab a hold of the ribs, physically spin them so that you're already facing away from your leg. So that when you come over, you're in the right twizzle. The right twizzle. I quite like that. I couldn't tell you what it is. Doctors, I'm not allowed to go to a doctor, so they won't tell me. I have no idea. It could be a cough. It could be patient zero of some brand new exotic disease that wipes the world out. We just don't know. I could be zombie. Yeah, this could be how it starts. But we'll never know, because, you know, we're told to stay away from the doctors. Self-isolation first. So, spinning out over to the side. Oh, I've disappeared behind my other camera. I have no head now. Oh, I could be making all kinds of faces and you wouldn't know. The other camera's too dark, you can't see me. Ha 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 ha. Feel my power! That's it. It still baffles me that there's like two different things going on and it's the same freaking tiny landmass. You're being held to ransom with Boris. Fabulous. Love it. Alright, we're gonna bring ourselves back up. Oh, we're gonna bring it forward again. That was really tight through the ribs there then. Yes. There we go. No. Yes. There we go. Too many notifications. I've got like 50 things on the top of my screen. Bring ourselves forward into the forward fold for just a second. Ooh. I can feel that in the back of that hamstring. I'll press that down properly. Anyway, how's everyone else? Who's hoarding toilet paper? That's what we want to know. Who's making massive pots of bolognese as well? Because there was no pasta and there was no pasta sauces when I went shopping. So I want to know who is, you know, feeding the 5,000 with spag bol. But I need to know. The good news is the Easter egg aisle's fine. So I bought like 5 of them. Yeah, just in case. These people are freaking out about washing their hands 50,000 times a day. And it's like, what else? Oh, bring it in. Oh, insane. Sorry. I need a drink. I'm gonna find out where you live and rob you. Has anyone seen that TikTok video? It's like a guy, I don't know where he's from the UK, and she's just like, so dads, you know, tell them we've got 24, what is it? No, they've got more than 24 rolls of toilet paper. They've panic bought. And he was like, don't post that, we'll have people breaking in just to get hold of our toilet paper. And it's just this whole thing on TikTok about it. It was funny. Well, I mean, I have got greedy with Easter eggs, but no one is, you know, the Easter eggs aren't keeping people alive. Yeah, I feel good about my Easter egg greed. You can't shame me just because I like chocolate. I'm sick. All right, so we'll do. I need to get up. Hang on. There we go. I'm gonna do a couple of more back bends and then I'm gonna call it because I'm coughing up all sorts of crap here. So we'll come into fish pose. I like fish pose. I'm gonna get a hold of my block. I'm gonna do an assisted fish pose today, if you don't mind. I'm just trying to create as much space in my chest. I don't need the strap. Why have I brought the strap? I'm trying to open up the lungs and get some air movement. Do I want the blanket? No, I can't be bothered. Okay, so fish pose is a nice chest opener. It's a nice back bend. Again, it's a passive one that you can come into. So I'll show you how to get into it with modifications. I'll show you how to do it without it. I'm going to keep the block underneath me probably for this one, otherwise I might die, but you know, screw it. So you want to have it on the portrait setting, and it's going to be placed, shabam-a-bam, going to be placed just at the bottom of your shoulder blades, so that it's not stabbing you in the shoulder blades, it's going to be just at the bottom of your shoulder blades. And we're going to open up, we're going to drape the shoulders down to the side, and we're going to actually come up to rest on the crown of the head. So again, if you've got, like, you know, neck issues, you're going to want to take your second block, place it on the middle setting, so you're somewhere to put your head, so that you can support the back of your head, so that your neck stays in a nice neutral alignment. But again, play around with what feels good. I'll lower myself down. Hello. By the way, the dark blue stuff on my thing, I can't see. If anyone has a dark blue name, I don't know if you've set your colour that way or whether it's just the Twitch random stuff, but I can't see blue and black at all, whatsoever. So yeah, so if you're coming into this variation, you're going to bring that underneath. You're going to drape the shoulders over to the side. Oh, crap-a-doodle. You bring your head to rest on there. You can have the feet flat onto the floor and knees bent if you'd like. Come into a nice passive chest opener. I could not think of the word. My brain is not working. So yeah, this is the variation. This is the comfiest variation that there is. If you don't have any neck issues, you're going to bring yourself to rest on the crown of the head. I'm going to move that block down now. Here. And again, you can have the feet flat. You can have the legs out in front of you. Or you can start to work on using the abdominals to keep the legs lifted out skyward. So again, play around with what feels good for you. If you don't have any equipment whatsoever, then this is how your fish pose is going to look. Move that out of the way. Sure I've got enough room. Oh. So if you don't have any equipment, you're going to be pressing the back of the elbows down into the mat. So you'll be pressing your triceps, the back of the elbows, everything down into the mat. You'll be coming up onto the crown of your head again, opening out through the chest. And again, having the feet flat on the floor, or you can bring your legs out straight and come into the full variation of it. So I can't do it from there, I have to do the legs afterwards. So you'll be coming up like this, pressing the elbows down, lifting the legs up, bringing the arms up, coming into your fish pose. Nice engagement of the abdominals. Back down, bring that back down there. I like this part, but trying to hold my abdominals, it's making me want to cough. Again, you're draping the shoulders out to the side. I have a pulse in my throat now. Weird. When we come out of this, we do so by sliding the head down onto the mat. So we come off the crown of the head, you slide down first. You want to make sure that your neck is supported. If you've got neck issues, you can bring the hands to interlace behind as you use your head, your hands to pull yourself up. Or you can do one, pressing into the elbow with the other side, bringing yourself up. Whatever works for you. The hell just buzzed on there? Oh, fuck off, Glasses Direct. Jeez. Did you buy one pair of glasses 4 years ago and they don't stop harassing you? I've unsubscribed like 8 times. So that's a fish pose to help open out through the chest. I've just worked on some nice juicy poses today. I am going to make it, I have no idea what that was. No idea what that is. Yeah, because I'm fluent in Turkish. It's not that, because I speak to... do I give off a vibe that I'm multilingual? I wish I was. I honestly wish I was. I'm not. I speak English, that's it. as all English speakers tend to do, we're very lazy. We're like, ours is the language that makes the money go around the world. So you know what? Learn to speak English. And you take foreign languages in school. I did Spanish, French, and German. I can't remember a damn word out of any of it. We've never had to use it, so it just falls out. I still have song lyrics in my head. I have song lyrics from school hymns for the, you know, like Christmas carols, for stuff that I don't even listen to, and I can still remember those, but French, clean out my head. Very, very bizarre. Can speak Canadian. A boot. No. What about Northern Irish? Yeah, I can do that. There's a burr in the mer, the cur. Because you don't do R's. Burr. Instead of bear. Burr. Yeah, and lower. One of my best friends from Belfast. She's fucking nuts, I love her. But she's just mer. I was like, what the fuck's a mer? Like, show me the mer. I was like, what's a mer? She meant mirror. Although Americans do the same with their mirror. It's a mirror. There's like 3 R's in there. Mirror. Mirror. Yeah, mirror. Not mirror. Not mirror. Mirror. You're welcome. Yeah, apparently so do I. I sound Australian enough to get away with being called an Aussie. Which is not an insult, but I don't speak fast enough to be an Aussie. Aussies speak at like 300 miles an hour. That's not me. Alright, I'm gonna seal the practicing, guys. I'm really starting to get uncomfortable with the cough. So we're gonna do a short stream today. I love you all, but it is though, don't they? There's mer. I was like, what the fuck's a mer? Bless her. Fantastic. I love her to pieces, but she's bizarre with her language. Abuse of the language. Anyway, hands to prayer center. And this is where you honor the art of yoga. You honor yourself for joining in. You honor your yoga instructor for not dying on you. You're welcome, you lucky, lucky people. And we seal the practice in with bowing down in gratitude. I'm only going to do a very small bow because every time I drop my head lower than my heart, I want to cough. La, 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 la. And we're done with the yoga. I'm not stressing. No, it is. It's like mer. It's mer. I'm not stressing. I'm not pushing myself. I'd rather do shorter streams and still do the streams than just cane it out and then be ill the next day. So I'm gonna do it seriously. Yes, well, my plan is working. My plan was to hold the world to ransom, okay? And well, it's not worked because I got what I was supposed to avoid getting that everyone else got. I'd be a terrible world leader. Don't ever vote me into power. We'll just sit around, play video games, and bitch about the world leaders. We're so much better suited to that. Right, peace, love, and light, you beautiful bunch of people. We have some people here. If we could go, maybe drop some love upon people. I don't know. Let me. Oh, it's creepy. I'm gonna see who's about in the world of Twitch. Like it's a whole separate platform of stuff. Oh, fucking hell, what's going on now? Oh crap, I have to do it the long way around, don't I? Son of a Michelson. Obviously with the thing, thank you. Jackass. No, I'm the only one there. Just checking my teams out, people. If not, then we'll go raid Tuna. Yeah, let's go raid Tuna. Oh, I've lost her. Okay, I'm not staying for the raid. Just thought I'd let you know. Let me put in the end credits. I'm not staying for the raid because she's playing a game I want to play, so I don't want any spoilers. But we should go drop some love upon her anyway because she's good people. So if you want to join in the raid, I'll see you over there. Be good. I love you all. Don't die in the meantime. And if you have toilet paper, feel free to send it to me because I will love you forever and ever and ever. Bye.